I suppose you'd want to automate the
Energizing Orb.
But first you're going to tell me what this orb is and why everybody cares so damn much about it.
Welcome to Mod 7, episode 35. Today we are going to automate the Energizing Orb from Powah. I usually take requests, but I like Brad's picture.
This is an Energizing Orb from Powah. Above here, I have Energizing Rods. These happen to be Niotic versions. You can make any version that you want. They have to be powered. So I'm powering it through a universal cable, which is getting power from a quantum entangle porter. Now, in order to make any type of reactor in this Powah mod, you need to go through this process. And it can be painful if you're trying to make a bunch of crystals. There's different things that you have to make inside this orb. Energized steel is one of them, and that takes a piece of gold, a piece of iron, you get 2 energized steel. Then you move up the table here, there's blazing crystals. Piece of blaze rod makes a blazing crystal. Niotic crystal, 1 diamond makes a niotic crystal. Emerald, 1 emerald makes a spirited crystal. And then this is the last tier, Nitro Crystal. This is probably the toughest one because you need to make these, which is a block of blazing crystal, which is 9 blaze rods crafted together, makes one of these. 2 blocks of redstone and a nether star gives you 16 nitro crystals. So the way this thing works, if you're not automating it, is you take a piece of gold, piece of iron, boom, laser beam shoots, it makes the energized steel. Cool. One of the cool things about this Energizing Orb is if we take a regular Minecraft chest, put a hopper underneath here from the Energizing Orb to the chest, and we take a piece of gold, put that in there, it doesn't pull it out because the Energizing Orb didn't make anything yet. So if I take a piece of iron, put it in there, boom, it made the energized steel, it pulls it out and it puts it into the chest. So that's going to help us in automating this. And it can also help you if you're not using, I'm going to use refined storage to pull the items out of this Energizing Orb. But if you're not using refined storage or you're using something else, this is an easy way to get the stuff that the Energizing Orb makes out of the Energizing Orb. Another cool feature of the Energizing Orb is it outputs a redstone signal. So if we take a redstone comparator, and for demonstration purposes, I'm going to put a redstone line there. It doesn't have any power being read from this. But if I put a piece of redstone dust in there, it reads a power level of 1. If I put 2 pieces in there, it reads a power level of 2. 3 pieces, 3. The thing that we have to watch out for, though, in automating this is this thing can hold up to 6 pieces of anything. So we need to limit how much we're putting in there. And we're going to do that using these 3 different chests. We're going to set this one up. This one is going to be filled with items that get made in the Energizing Orb that only take 1 item at a time. This one is going to be filled with items that take 2 items at a time. And this one we're going to use for the Niotic Crystal, which takes 4 items at a time. So we need to set up some Redstone Logic in order to control the output of these chests. To control the output of these chests, I'm going to use Logistical Sorters from Mekanism. So we're going to put them attached to the chest, shooting into the Energizing Orb. Now, where did this go? Redstone comparator off the orb, just like we had before. 1 piece of redstone dust, and then I'm going to put a repeater here. Another piece, another piece, another piece. And then we need to put a repeater here, because if I put a piece of redstone dust, that'll just create an internal loop and then a block for the redstone signal to go through. So if we take a blaze rod, which I already set this filter up to see if it works. So let me delete this filter. We take a blaze rod and we click on new item filter, put a blaze rod in there, and then hit save. And then we come over here where it says single. You want to have this clicked on, and then over here you want the redstone detection mode set to inverted. So now if I take blaze rods and put them in there, it's going to put 1 blaze rod in at a time. It won't put anything else in until this is out of its way. So now if I pull this out, boom, sends another blaze rod in there. Perfect. Now we need to do that for all of the other things that we need. Diamond is one of them. So we go new filter, item stack, boom, save. And emerald was the last one. New filter, item stack, put it in there, save. Done deal. So now it'll make the diamonds one at a time. Pull that out and puts another one in there. And the emeralds will do the same thing. It's time for bed. Now, because I'm using refined storage to automate this fully, I'm going to take an importer, put it right on top of there. We're going to put some speed upgrades in here, and then take some cable and connect it to our refined storage system. Now that's going to feed right back into the refined storage system, and it's making whatever the emerald ones are called, spirited crystals. We could take this one step further. If we come over to the pattern grid, we make sure it's clicked on processing. We'll start with the emerald one, tell it 1 emerald equals 1 spirited crystal. Take the pattern out for that. 1 diamond equals 1 niotic crystal. Take the pattern out for that. And 1 blaze rod equals 1 blazing crystal. Take the pattern out for that. And then we take a crafter, put a crafter right on top of the chest here with a wrench, refined storage, right click on it to spin it. You want it facing down just like that. We'll take these patterns, pop them in here, and we'll take some cable, tie it to the refined storage system. We can now order, let's do Niotic Crystals. Rid of them. Order 10 of these, see if it works. Look over here, boom, it's crafting them, sending them right back into the refined storage system. So we got that part licked. Now let's work on sending 2 items in at a time. Let's make a pattern for the energized steel. 1 gold, 1 iron equals 2 energized steel. Pull that pattern out. And then I already put a crafter on this one here, tied it into the refined storage system. We're going to take this pattern, toss it into the crafter, and then right here, crafter mode, redstone pulse, insert next step. This is very important that you click this, because what'll happen is it'll just shoot stacks of gold in there, and then this thing will pump stacks of gold into here, and nothing will ever happen with your craft. So let's set a filter to the logistical sorter, click on new filter, take the iron item stack, put that in there, and then right here we're going to put max 1 size mode, click that on, save. Another filter, take a piece of gold, put that in there. We're going to do the same thing, max 1 size mode, click that on, save. This is set to inverted detection for redstone. Perfect. So now we need to take this redstone signal that we're going to get from the energizing orb, and we want 2 pulses or 2 power coming off of here. So we're going to add a piece of redstone dust. That's 1, 2, and then we need to take a repeater, and we're going to put a repeater right to the logistical sorter. Now the last step that we want to do is, this is our 1 line coming this way. So we want to take a Redstone Link from Create is what I'm going to use because it's wireless. I'm going to put a piece of energized steel or whatever it's called in there, and then take the other link, put it right on side of this crafter, put a piece of energized steel in there, shift, right click, you get that little antenna. So now when this gets a redstone pulse, it'll activate this crafter, and we should be able to order energized steel right now. Let's order 10 and see if it works. Boom, 1 gold, 1 iron. It's making energized steel, and it waits for this pulse to stop to feed the next set for the craft through there. So this is pretty important that you make sure you have this mode set properly and you have your redstone signal linked right there. Now let's work on the hardest of them all, the Nitro Crystal. I goofed in the beginning of the video. I told you a block of blazing crystal was 9 pieces of blaze rod. And it kind of is, because 9 pieces of blaze rod make this blaze mesh. But then you have to put the blaze mesh through the energizing orb in order for it to turn into the block of blazing crystals. So we're going to make out one more pattern. Blaze mesh equals block of blazing crystal. Take that pattern out, and we're going to put that over here in our single item stack crafter. Boom. And then we're going to add a filter here, one more new filter. We're going to take the blaze mesh item stack, put that in there, save, done deal. And now that'll make the blazing mesh when we need it. And let's order a couple blocks of blazing crystal just to make sure that that works the way that we want it to. Sending them in there, boom, it's making the blazing crystal. So that's perfect. Now let's start on, what's this stuff called? Nitro Crystal. I'm confusing myself at this point. 1 nether star, 2 blocks of redstone, 1 block of blazing crystal equal 16 nitro crystals. Set. There's our pattern for that. Let's pop this in the crafter over here. We're going to set this one up the same way. Crafter mode, redstone pulse inserts, next set. Boom, pop that right in there. We can now set up the filters coming out of this chest through the logical sorter. New filter, item stack, nether star is the first one. We're going to go, that only gets 1 nether star. Put 1 in there, hit size mode, click that on, hit save. Another new filter, redstone block. This one we need 2 in there, so we're going to hit 2 there. Size mode on, hit save, and then the last one is the block of whatever this is called, blazing crystal. That only gets 1 of them. Put 1 in there, size mode on, save, and then this is set to redstone detection inverted. That's all our filters, perfect. Now we need to bring our redstone. We want 4 pieces to go in there. So this is our, we have 2 here. We're going to add 1, 2, and then we could do a repeater, wrap it around here, then a repeater right into the logistical sorter. Now we should be good to go. No, we're not, because I need to set up the redstone link that we have here. When 1 piece goes in, this gets activated. We're going to use the same signal. So we're going to put another redstone link there, 1 energized steel. You can put anything in here as long as it's the same as what you put over there. Shift, right click, get the antenna deal. Make sure that this is set the same way. Boom, it is. Pattern's good. Now let's go check to see if this works. Nitro. Let's just craft up 2 of them for now. You know, work it. Oh no, that's why. All right, that's no good. And the reason it's no good is because that is transmitting a signal and it's hitting the hopper. So we're going to move this guy 1 over, wrap it around a little further out, right into there. Now it should work. Nitro. This might be the most confusing video I ever made. Let's order 2 of them again. Boom. She's working. I would say that that's automated. And now listen, if you're not using refined storage like I am, you could just put the items in by hand into these chests, by the stack loads, and this will feed it in there and then have it dump out into a hopper like I showed you in the beginning of the video, an item pipe, however you want to get it out of there, and then store it into a chest, and you can walk away from this and it'll make all the things that you need for the Powah mod crystal wise. And the other thing I didn't touch on is these energizing rods. The higher the tier of the energizing rod, the faster it's going to craft whatever it's making inside of the energizing orb. Like the Nitro Crystal takes 20 million FE to craft 16 of them. So the higher the tier, the faster the craft's going to be. Hopefully this video makes sense to y'all. I appreciate you watching. Have fun and peace.